all to continue the discussion. So far, I believe the discussion was happy, healthy. No? Is it happy or not? Something new could be learned, but there is a good and bad out of everything. What I am going to now show would be a little boring, would be a little abstract, would be a little more intricate into the key topic, that is design thinking. Just, it's only sort of a disclaimer. We read disclaimer, no? Please note that falana is going to happen. We are not responsible for all the things what are going to happen. That is the thing what is going to happen now. So let me continue the session. I am going to the proper design thinking topic. What are the key aspects of design thinking? Necessarily, design thinking is, madam, are you able to see? You can come this side, madam. I am blocking your view. Thank you, madam. Sorry to disturb you people. Yeah, it is visible, no? Now, why I am telling is, I don't know, it is somewhat boring and very abstract. So the key aspects of design thinking are human-centered, iterative, non-linear, empathy, prototyping, and rapid iteration. This design thinking prioritizes on understanding the needs and behaviors of the people who will use the solution. In my earlier session, I was telling that the world is evolving. The changes in the designs, the changes in the thinking pattern, the changes in the perceiving the requirements are rapidly changing. Now, we are focusing on human being. That is, it is a human-centric. Earlier, it was standardization, mission thinking, system or procedure, or following for the ship I am trying to do, for my excise duty I am doing this, for my GST I have so many implications. All that is a very clear set pattern. Here, my rule is my law. That means my rule means whatever I say, that is a law. So that is how I am supposed to think in terms of design thinking. How I am going to achieve that, I'll tell in the further thing. It is not done in a single shot. Iterative. What is iterative? I need at least one word out of the audience. What is iterative? Exactly. A cycle of repeated things do take place. So, with regard to the design thinking, we could not hit the target in a single shot many times. It becomes iterative. Sorry. It is a process, not linear, involves constant refinement, improvement based on the feedback and testing. I would like to have a comfortable seat, a comfortable lighting, or perhaps I told comfortable laptop. Today, even the physical item might not be available. From some corner, something is going to fall somewhere and I'm just going to operate. These are the things which are in the offering. But to arrive at that, these iterations are part and parcel of the process. Next thing is, it is not non-linear. While often presented in stages, the design thinking is not rigid sequence. The teams may revisit the previous stages, iterate between them as needed. What I'm talking, is it making any sense, or it is looking somewhat abstract? Please be frank. It is somewhat abstract. No? Because this subject, again, I have to bank on my previous examples. That is why I have taken elaborately the previous slides, metals management, material procurement, material planning as the baseline for me. So while these stages, I told the example of getting items from overseas. I told example of levying of taxation. I told example of designing a particular thing, etc. So all the things have not evolved in a single shot. Likewise, empathy. I have very clearly told about this empathy. Understanding a user's perspective and feelings is crucial for developing the effective solutions. And finally, where we drive it is tomorrow, if artificial intelligence is coming into all our lives in a big way, or it is banking on some data, maybe big data, whatever data is there, these things definitely are supposed to be focused on. One thing is empathy. What is my feeling? If my feeling is not satisfied, gone. So that design thinking is the thing what I would like to give. Why I told empathy, I told a few transportation, X works and all. I would like to save money. So I don't mind going to the supplier premises, take on X works basis. For me, the transportation of particular thing from place X to me is of the lowest importance. What I do is, I will simply have no empathy on that, because I'm throwing my money on that. I'm simply throwing my money. So this empathy is understanding the user's perspective. The perspective will vary from person to person, situation to situation, and from the end requirement to a corresponding requirement. Okay? For that, what has been done is prototyping. See, I can always go for a mass deployment of a situation or a manufacturing process or a service. I can do it on a mass. Mass means globally. From tomorrow onwards, I shall follow this path. One way of doing it. Usually, we engineers, what we do is, we bank on this prototyping. In the next slides, we will have further emphasis on that. What is that prototyping? Here, what we do, we create a tangible representation of the solution. Even simple ones allows clearly testing and feedback. We test on the prototype. I'll elaborate more. I've also told a few examples in the further slides. Then, usually, the danger with the iterative is it could go to an infinite cycle. That is, it is inconclusive also. It is rapid iteration. Emphasis is quickly creating and testing the prototypes rather than spending excessive time on research and planning alone. Then these are the 5 stages of design thinking. Explore, emphasize, experiment, prototype, and evolve. Gain deep understanding into the user's needs, motivations, challenges, observation, interviews, and other research models which are available in the market or in the society or in the particular ecosystem. This is what is done for the explore stage. The next stage is empathize. Clearly articulate the problem based on insights gathered during the emphasize stage or emphasize phase. This involves synthesizing the information, identifying the specific problem statement. First of all, it is empathy. In my previous slides, I was just asking, what is empathy? Something to do with sympathy, something to do with feelings, something to do with my personal what we call likings. Finally, we are all trying to drive at that. I may be morning active, evening lazy. Somebody may be opposite to me. My requirement is my requirement. So that aspect, how do I empathize on a particular aspect, will vary widely from situation to situation, industry to industry, person to person, or ecosystem to ecosystem. Okay. Experiment. I have also told about the prototype and all. So here, experiment, that is, generate wide range of potential solutions through brainstorming, sketching, and other creative techniques. The goal is to explore diverse possibilities. In fact, looking straight all the times is not the right way to do this empathy alone or to do the experiment. I am supposed to explore. For that, I have the prototype. What is the prototype? Again, I will tell in the further slides. Evolve. Evaluate the prototypes with users to a greater feedback and to identify the areas of improvement. This iterative process helps in to refine the solution and ensure it meets the ultimate requirement of the user. These are the thinking tools. Design thinking tools include software methods, techniques, processes used to facilitate the design thinking approach. A human-centered problem-solving method that puts users' needs and experiences in the forefront of the design process. Here, all the people, or at least a good number of people sitting here, are faculties trying to enhance their knowledge, enhance their qualifications. Most of the people may be postgraduates, some may be PhD holders. I suggest that this statement is a very vital one for all such people. The reason is, this is what we have to do now. We are supposed to have knowledge about the software, methods, techniques, and processes to facilitate the design thinking approach. My PhD thesis could be on design thinking. How I am going to apply that, what is it, my domain, and how I am going to connect. This statement speaks about that. The design thinking refers to set of cognitive, strategic, practical procedures used by designers in the process of designing, and to the body of knowledge that has been developed about how people reason while engaging with design problem. What is cognitive? I want feedback. You can Google it. I am free. Exactly. Thinking in the mind very actively to a good depth. My cognitive memory is down. In fact, it's a fact. After aging process, the brain shrinks. That's called cerebral atrophy. And the brain doesn't function as it used to function in the prime years of the life. So this cognitive approach is very, very, very important. People should have a proper level of cognitive or brain function in order to achieve the design thinking. So that is a tool. Now, cognitive is something to do with the human brain. There are parallel tools, like I was telling, software methods and all, which today we have this artificial intelligence, which is coming to the picture, that more or less, I don't say 100%, more or less, it tries to replicate or it tries to do sort of a copy or function. So, and the last point is, design thinking is also associated with the prescriptions for innovation of products and services within the business and social context. This is very clear. I was giving an umpteen number of examples. Finally, where it drives is this. We want our comfort. We want the things to go in our way. We want all those things are there. But when it comes to human body, human life, it is not sufficient that we are stagnant, stationary, and lazy. There is a heart, there is a brain, and the function should go very actively. Today, few people, especially my experience overseas, is a good amount of population, they go to gym to have a very active cognitive approach or cognitive state of body and mind. And here, the last point is we should have all the prescriptions required to achieve the cognitive approach. I am just rolling back. Okay, explore, empathize, experiment, prototype. No? Here, explore. The first one now, the previous to previous slide. Okay, I'll be just elaborating, and then I'll be stopping. Okay, that is a good news, is it not? Explore. I have put something in italics and something in normal font. The explore phase will help you to synthesize the steep trends analysis, gain insights into the implications of context of your design challenge. The selection of the right material for a given application. That is what is the prescription. That is, there are so many trends which are gaining insights into the implications of the context. Okay. Then, selection of the material for a given application is what we try to do using the explore stage. Likewise, foster multiple perspectives to explain your design challenge. Explore the alternatives available in the present market, keeping the current industry mappings. The current industry has a domain always. I would like to have a special grade of alloy for manufacturing of a particular machine element. It may not be feasible in this particular context. It is available only to certain rarest of the rare, not in my country, maybe in some advanced countries, some European countries. But definitely, I cannot think about the design thing. I know it, but this is a place where it is a out of domain or non-achievable case. Likewise, map the organization's activity or individual's activity, system or ecosystem, and the foundation model to leverage your new idea of delivery. So, exploring the present procurement system will be able to address the above options. I am talking about material planning, material procurement. Here, the first statement is on design thinking in general, map the organization's activity. The present procurement system will be able to address above option. Any doubts, madam, you can ask me, if it is not a doubt. Okay. I don't know, I am not a teaching person. I am not a faculty, rather. Mostly I am in industry, sitting in a chair and a table in front of me. People come, people go, files come, files go. That's all my job. At least last 25, 30 years. I'm not used to that. Only, let's say, when two people are talking, my attention immediately gets diverted. I'm sorry. Okay. So, my limitation. Okay. Then map the stakeholders to appreciate the key people who determine the success of your design challenge. In my case, it is the vendors. Procurement is nothing but vendor. What is the capability of that? 130 and 100%. The first example, what I told, 100 rupees, 100 units of mileage, whatever I'm getting, and 130 units, 120 rupees is the second one. So here, my capabilities of the vendor in terms of technical, commercial, and price terms are to be evaluated. In terms of commercial means, I was telling about the advances, LCs and all. When it comes to material planning and all, I am more focused on the money part. In fact, the whole world, it is only focused on two things: man, money. Man means human being can be taking a class, running a service, etc. Next thing is the money part. If I am able to control these two, my organization is safe, or me as an individual is good. That's all. Next, frame the project design challenge into design opportunity. So for this, what we have done, I have done personally during my official capacity was use trial order system to minimize the risks of trying options. Whenever, in a very crude terms, I'm telling you, when we go to shop, I want to organize something in my house. What do? I want to buy some 10 kilograms of some sweet or whatever is there. So asking for a sample, please give a sample. I just do it on passing on to my family members. The same is the case here. So trial is one of the very good option for people while they think whether or not we are going to deploy the bulk in long term. Okay. Then identify and select your select and invite your target stakeholders for the interview, giving opportunity for the potential stakeholders to showcase the proposed supply options. Generally, what happens is we in our life try to invite. Invite means they may come to me or I may go to them. But my option is I want to utilize multiple options. I want to utilize, or I want to just have an explorative way. Even explore is also another point. So that is very important for my design thinking, for my thought process, in order to achieve my ultimate goal. Then plan your design challenge project management. That is timing the project or the product to meet the process requirement. Most important is, I was telling about metals management, right time. In my initial slides, right material, right time, right terms, 5 hours I have told. For the benefit of audience, let me go back. There is a first slide. So, at the right time. My first part of lecture was very interesting. The second part of my lecture is very abstract. That's why I'm rolling back again to create a sense of interest. Yeah, timing is the important aspect what we have to consider. The second phase is the empathize. Empathize is a mechanism to understand and share the feelings of your users to foster the deep user, whatever. User's mindset is to be taken care. However accurate, efficient my engineering design is, as long as it is not appreciated by my user, I can say it is good for nothing. No use. So the thinking should be such that finally we are driving at the opportunity that the user's mindset is to be taken care. Therefore, this empathize is of utmost importance in the design thinking. Next, understanding and be able to uncover the deep user insights and thought, extract or elicit deeper thoughts of the users so as to help in arriving at the right choices. Empathy means ability to understand and share the feelings of another. English. So finally, most of the design thinking is focused on this empathy. Why I'm telling research project in this area is now with the advent of artificial intelligence and so much data available, we should try for models. Models means mathematical model, computer models, or even for that matter, design models, which will try to give or pave way for a better society. The purpose is to foster empathy, a deep understanding of the users in terms of life, needs, aspirations, and challenges. In case of prolonged interface with material, the users develop aspirations as well as challenges to arrive at a better design, solutions, and mechanism. I've been using a particular type, variety, design of a particular material. Now, I should think about the betterment. If the same material can give, or if a small design change, design means it need not be the physical, the dimensions. It can be the technical parameters. It can be aesthetic parameters. These parameters, if they are properly altered, then I am applying my design thinking, then I will be able to have a continual improvement in that aspect of life. Then appreciate others as human beings and understand and relate their feelings. Appreciation rather than discouraging the users will lead to better outcome. This is easily understood. See their world through their eyes and make emotional connection. Communicate understanding with the others to share the world. Be in their shoes. These are all why I am telling, develop the passions enough. Why I am telling is, as a designer, if I were the person having some design thinking, I should not think in my perspective. I should think in the perspective of the user or a system which is going to deploy, or an ecosystem which is going to have that concept, that design concept into place. Phase 3 is experiment. In order to do the first two, necessarily what I have to do is some experimentation is required. So in the experimentation stage, what I do the ideation phase, where the huge quantities of ideas are brainstorming. You know what